everyone, and welcome to another episode of FBTV. I know we've been sort of on the down low lately. We've been working on some new things and updating the some of the platforms, and it's been really busy around Fortune Builders and CT Homes, but not an excuse to not get another show together. So that's what we're doing today. And I wanted to actually focus on direct mail. Yesterday, actually, we had our marketing meeting for our direct marketing side of the business. You know, there's really I'll say two main ways you can look at properties. You've got the MLS, which is, a public forum and where agents go to list properties and find properties for their clients, and you've got direct marketing. Now, within each of those two spaces, there's a lot of subsections, but if we're talking about direct marketing, and what we're talking about are things like direct mail, we're talking about things like outdoor advertising, we're talking about things like online lead generation, okay? Those are some of the big ones. And what I want to focus on specifically is direct mail. Now, direct mail is basically sending a letter or postcard to someone. Now, there are obviously things that make direct mail more effective. There are also things that make direct mail less effective. We've all received a piece of mail before. And we've all actually probably taken some of that mail and just put it right into the trash. Well, obviously, that's not an effective marketing campaign for the company or the person that sent it. So direct mail starts first and foremost with getting your message read, getting your message seen. But even before that, it's you as the investor finding out and deciding who you're going to market to. So a lot of investors, when they market in the direct mail space, they get sidetracked because they don't have targeted marketing, because direct mail can be overwhelming. So the first tip when it comes to direct mail marketing is you want to be very targeted. What that means is you really want to be looking for motivated sellers, people that would potentially be motivated to sell their home. And in real estate, that could be someone who, for example, is in some stage of foreclosure, whether they're in the foreclosure process or they're in pre-foreclosure. Okay, that's a very targeted type of lead and potentially very motivated lead. You've got probates, people who have lost someone in their family recently and they've inherited a property, for example, or they haven't inherited yet, but it's going through the process of dispersing the assets in the will. That could be a motivated seller. Someone that owns a property in your area, in your state, but lives outside of your area. Okay, an out-of-state owner, for example, could be a motivated seller. And then when you cut that against, for example, and cross that against an out-of-state owner that has equity in their property, that could even create a better lead opportunity. So those are just some examples of very targeted, motivated sellers. So that's step number one, is decide who you're going to market to. Step number two is, with anything that we do, is have a system. And where people drop the ball on direct marketing, probably more so than any other area of direct marketing, is that they don't understand what makes direct mail effective and how to be more effective at it, and then ultimately how to track their marketing. So tracking is a huge component of it. But let's talk about what some of the additional things that make direct mail more effective and increase the response rate. Well, marketing is all about how many times you can get in front of someone. Okay, how many times can you get your message in front of them in different formats? Well, with direct mail, it's no different. If you send one letter to 1,000 people, that means you're touching 1,000 people one time. Okay, now you could say, well, that's a good amount of people, 1,000 people. That should produce a pretty good response rate. Well, the reality is not necessarily, and it depends. It depends on your message, and it depends on if you had the correct data and the right addresses. And if you break down marketing, what makes it more effective is touching a smaller group of people more times. And when I say touching, I mean getting your message in front of them. So if you were going to send 1,000 letters and you had a budget to send 1,000 letters out, okay, that was your budget, you would be better served sending 250 letters to, am I doing the math right? If you had 1,000 letters you were going to send out, you'd be better off sending out four different letters out to 250 people, okay? You would send out the same amount of letters overall, but you would touch those 250 people 4 times. And you would actually increase the amount of times you got your message in front of them, and you'd ultimately increase your response rate, and that's what marketing is all about. So divide your marketing up, okay? Instead of sending out one letter to 1,000 people, divide it up and send 4 letters out to 250 people. That's being more consistent, okay? Now, direct mail response rates vary, but what a good direct mail response rate is somewhere between 5 and, 3 and like 8%. I mean, 8% would be knocking it out of the park, and 3% would be a pretty darn good response rate. So that's another thing, is to get educated on response rates, and I just shared some quick quick statistics with you.